Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay, indeed, Jimmy. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Westman.
We're excited to be here this week.
We're back with 1 million downloads, bro.
1 million downloads. That's great. Thank you, everybody, for getting us to 1 million
total.
Thank
Holy
you, guys.
Shit.
We're very, very excited this week. Also, too, thank you guys for all the iTunes reviews this week. That is
big.
So great. It's helping us out tremendously.
Keep them going, goddammit.
Keep them going. If you like us, that's a great way to help out the show. Get on iTunes, give us 5 stars, tell us your following directions, and just say whatever you want. Have fun, but we really need those iTunes
like the guy
reviews, so
who was reviewing our podcast as a bar somewhere.
That was terrific.
Hilarious.
That was hilarious. But
so funny.
Thank you guys so much for that. Honestly, we really can't thank you enough. Hope you enjoyed last week's craziness of Salt Walther, learning some race car things and some just of a mess of a human.
Somebody messaged
30
me.
years of disaster of a human.
I think it was Ellie Boys in Tyler, Texas, messaged me and said that I missed a pun, that I should have called his book Saltwater.
Oof, that's why you didn't say it.
Yeah, Salt Walther Taffy should have been the name of the book, which...
Well, you would have messed
hilarious.
it up 4 times. It would have been less funny anyway.
I would have stuttered and it wouldn't have been funny.
If you stutter a pun, it doesn't work at all.
Sorry,
at that
Ellie,
point,
I ruined your joke.
It's all good there. My goodness, but wow, do we have a load of insanity for you this week. It's crazy time. This week, Jimmy, is the craziest person we've dealt with.
We say that so much, but this shit.
This is beyond.
This better pay off, James Petrogallo.
Let me give you a math equation to the crazy, as I like to do from time to time. This man is Lee Murray. Plus Jared Wyatt, the heart cutter outer. Lee Murray plus Jared Wyatt divided by Marvin Barnes. So that gives you an impression of the level of aggressive and crazy we're dealing with here on both ends. It's impossibly crazy. I mean, the things this guy says, guys, I am going to say some things in this podcast coming from his mouth and in their own words quote that I do not want to say into a microphone and have recorded out there for me to be brought up later on.
In case somebody isolates the shit to use your words against you.
I will have music behind it so you know it's in the fucking bit because he said the shit, not me, and I have to tell you what he said because otherwise you're not going to know how crazy he is.
Isn't that fun that you have to fucking say it?
We have to. I have no choice. What am I going to do? Like, he said some other shit.
He said some really horrible shit.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, he said it was a little racist and it was not nice. I told him to cut it out, and I bopped him on the nose, and we moved on. Let's get into it, guys.
Shit.
It's Viacheslav Datsik.
Okay.
Viacheslav Datsik.
How are we going to say this shit so that we can keep that shit straight for the next 2 hours?
And also, too, I've seen a bunch of fights, and he's Russian. He's a Russian MMA fighter, and he's crazy as shit.
Yeah.
He's a Russian, and I've seen it like over there. I don't know if they switch it like China. They switch the names because I've seen him be called Datsik Viacheslav before. So I have no idea. We're calling him Datsik.
Okay.
Viacheslav is going by the wayside because I don't want to say that 400 times this episode. He's going to be Datsik or his nickname, which is, quote, the Red Tarzan.
I'm going with Datsik. That's a great nickname, though.
It is.
That's awesome.
That's only the tip of the nickname. There's a lot more to it that we'll get into, and he is already a front runner. He's already a front runner for 2 Scummy Awards for next year.
I'd like to know who gave him that nickname. Did somebody name?
Oh no, this is a self nickname.
Yes.
He's got a whole. This is what I mean. He's going to have best self nickname.
So good.
And the Mama Gilreath award for most supportive mother might be for his
mother.
What a
hacky
also.
Fucking thing to do though. Throwing the red whatever the fuck in there.
Tarzan.
What a dick.
Well, he's got bright red hair.
Really?
That's why he had bright red hair. And
he's Russian.
Pale. He's Russian.
Yeah.
So the Red Tarzan.
Gotcha.
It's also a sort of a white supremacist thing, as we'll get into. Yeah, it's he's a mess. This guy. Absolute mess. This insanity started on February 13th, 1977 in Slantsy, USSR, some other little tiny province in some little town.
Yeah.
Fucking USSR.
You bet.
His date of birth is disputed in multiple places, but I actually found some sort of court record type things that had it. So I'm like, okay, that's what it is from other country here. He's a big guy, 6'1", not that tall, but he goes between, and this varies a lot in his over the course of his life here, goes between about 215 pounds when he's fighting to about, they say 240, and it looks more like 260 later on when he gets really crazy and out there. Oh boy, let me tell you something.
When
this
he
is
stops
wild.
fighting, he gets fat and crazy. Drinking all that vodka, those empty calories will fucking balloon you.
This guy, well, he doesn't drink. He doesn't drink. He's a straight edge kind of a guy.
Really?
I don't know what his childhood is completely lost to the world.
Really?
Which, I mean, I don't know. It's in Russia. But it's so weird. While he was doing tons of crazy things, no reporter stopped and said, "Wonder what happened here."
Maybe he was raised by a fucking bear somewhere.
Wonder how this started.
Yeah.
Like, nobody said that and said, so, what was your home life like? I know he's got a mother named Svetlana, obviously. That's her name. Of course, that's her fucking name. But, I mean, seriously. Obviously. He's got a mother named Svetlana. That's all I know about his childhood. I knew he grew up in Russia, and he's a psychopath. So I assume he probably had, it's Russia back then, I assume he had like a, like an iron curtain, alcoholic, abusive dad beating the shit out of him every 2 minutes. That's my thought process.
Or there was a plane crash and he was raised by bears and wolves and shit, and that's why he goes by Tarzan. He lived in a fucking treehouse somewhere.
He has some interaction with bears later on too.
Really?
This guy is. I can't express the crazy to you.
I can't wait to find out. This is so much fun already.
He's nuts, man. He's the Red Tarzan. He starts MMA fighting pretty young, and he's 21 years old when he starts MMA fighting. He's a kickboxer before that.
Yeah.
They keep saying that he's into like Muay Thai too, Muay Thai and kickboxing, and he's got a really funky, weird style of fighting that's basically just if you took a guy. If you saw a guy in a rubber room and were like, let's give him a bunch of meth and just open the door and see what happens, that's what the guy would do. He'd just come out going, screaming and kicking things and punching and cartwheeling and acting like a lunatic. And that's what this guy does.
He shadow boxes in a rubber room for 6 months. That's his training?
That's pretty much his training.
Fantastic.
He has a lot of time to train like that.
Punching the walls.
In this story. Let me tell you something. Oh, he's punching everything. And he's nuts. I can't express it. Let's get right into it. He starts his MMA career. That's the first record we have of him existing, really. Starts his MMA career on April 9th, 1999. The Red Tarzan coming to the ring here. It's in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Okay.
It is at an event called the M1 MFC World Championship. I don't know. I saw the video. The seats are like way back from the octagon, so it just looks like a couple of guys fighting in a warehouse.
It's probably for their safety.
Yeah, but the broadcast of it is in English.
Really?
Like the broadcasters are speaking English. It's not, they're not translated, and they talk to the fighters through a translator, and then the fighters talk back, and then they say what they said. So it's in English, this broadcast. So
it's in a town that's English too. St. Petersburg isn't Russian.
Yeah, St. Petersburg, Russia.
Is that? I don't know what the fuck that is, but that sounds funny.
Jesus Christ.
It sounds like Florida.
Yeah, there is one in Florida actually. Yeah, there's a few St. Petersburgs.
Sounds beautiful. I'm sure it's not in Russia, but it sounds beautiful.
It's not beautiful at all. It's not beautiful at all. So at this event, they have basically the guys come out, and his opponent is a guy named Andrei Arlovsky.
That sounds like, oh, wait, I know who that is.
Who he is, yes, because he actually was a UFC heavyweight champion at one time.
Absolutely.
This is his first fight.
Really?
This is both men's first MMA fight. Debut for both guys.
I give Andre much more credit for being heavyweight champion if he had to fight this fucking lunatic.
Well, he comes in, Andre, and I guess Andre had been winning some kind of tournaments they had, because the announcers were like, I've heard about your tournament wins and I've seen you here. My money's on you, man. And they were saying that, and he was just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go in there and do my thing.
Right.
He's a big guy, too, Arlovsky. He's 6'3", 250, and he looks every bit of, and he's jacked, too. He's not
terrifying
fat.
looking.
He's muscular. He looks like a fighter that you wouldn't want to fight. He looks like a video game fighter. You'd be like, oh, shit.
Yeah, he looks like Zangief.
Yeah, I'm picking that guy. He's got an uppercut. He's
hilarious.
nasty. You know what I mean? He won the UFC heavyweight championship in 2005 over Tim Sylvia.
Yes.
And he held it for, I want to say, 4 fights. So, I mean, that's not bad, actually. I mean, he had a good career. This, like I said, both fighters' debut, Arlovsky was heavily favored. Heavily. Like, even the announcers were saying, like I said, that my money's on you, and they were like, everybody's money's on him. Basically, they didn't know anything about Datsik. He comes in, Arlovsky has some, like, I guess he had some pub behind him, because the crowd knows who he is.
Okay.
You can tell. When they introduce him, the crowd has, like, some recognition.
Gotcha.
I don't know if they saw him and were like, oh, he looks like a badass, maybe, like that sort of thing. But when they introduce Datsik, It's silent. Then nobody knows who he is. He's just this crazy, super pale guy coming out looking like a psychopath with bright red hair.
Right.
He's smaller than Arlovsky. He's about 215. He's 6'1", so he looks like he's fighting like his older brother, basically. And it does not look like a well matched up fight.
Gotcha.
And also too, skill wise, it takes about 15 seconds to realize that Arlovsky is way more skilled than Datsik in what he's doing.
So Datsik is completely overmatched.
Datsik comes in
reach and size and weight and everything.
And skill. He bum rushes him kind of, and this guy gets him in a front face lock standing. And the announcers keep saying, oh, if he gets that forearm locked, he'll have the guillotine and all this poor shit. I don't know what the fuck. I'm not a huge MMA fan, guys, so sorry. If you're a big MMA fan, great. Don't message us and say what they really mean. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you what I know. And I've done so much research, so I found out all I want to know and care to know. Thank you.
I used to watch it quite a bit when in that era, in the 2004, 2005, 2006 time, and when St. Pierre was fighting a lot. That's the guy that I enjoyed watching because that French fuck was crazy. And and I watched Andre fight a few times too, but outside of that, I don't know their fucking guillotines. I don't know their fucking triangles. I don't know any of that shit. I don't know what it means. I know that it means somebody's going to tap out. That's what it means.
He's holding them in a front face lock and kind of they're going up against the fence. And Arlovsky looks like even the announcers are saying if he drops down right now, he can get a submission.
Yeah.
They said if he just lets his body go. Yeah. He'll drop down and he'll get a submission. It looks like he doesn't want to make him submit in 20 seconds.
Oh.
It looks like he's like, I got to make this look good and kind of drag this out.
Toy with this fuck.
I need a fight, basically, is what he looks like. Then after a while, Datsik gets out of it and they're tussling around and he starts pissing Arlovsky off. Like they start getting pissed off at each other, and you could tell they're just like swinging, and Datsik's doing crazy swinging, coming in wild, trying to kick him and shit, and Arlovsky's kicking him in the thighs, and the announcers start calling it a quote schoolyard lunch money fight.
That's not fun to watch,
and it looks like. It's not fun at all. They're tussling a little bit. The whole time, though, Arlovsky looks like he's 10 times the fighter. Like, Jesus, he's going to kill this guy. Like, he'll come in, get him in like a hold. Datsik will slip out, and then he'll like hit Datsik a few times, like when they're on the ground really good. And it's like, wow, he's not going to take much more of that. This Datsik, he's going down. So they're in the front face. Like this all happens. Arlovsky's dominating. Datsik at one point does this crazy cartwheel kick, where he rolls forward, like just does a roll, and as he's rolling by, pops his foot up and kicks him in the face as he's rolling by. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen to like try to attempt this in a fight. But he hits Arlovsky. It
always works. It seems to always fucking work.
I don't know how you would expect it. How would you? Like, I think he's going to roll and pop his foot. It's the stupidest move I've ever heard in my life. You wouldn't expect that. It seems
like as a boxer, you just drill him in the face and end the fight.
It would be like if a cat took out a knife and stabbed you. You'd be like, I expected the claws, but what the fuck was that? I expect a knife. Like, what happened there? Like,
that's hilarious.
It's the worst, man. He does this, and he catches him in the face with it, but it's not like a real clack, clack. But he hits him enough to just piss him off, and you can see Arlovsky's face like, I'm going to fucking kill you now. And then they're just like fighting, like they're in a bar, basically.
Those are fun to fight, or fun to watch.
Yeah, they're like kind of fighting in a bar. They're tussling around. Arlovsky's just kind of throwing him off him and then kicking him, and they're trying to punch at him. Datsik comes in with this punch, and this was after he took a few shots. He comes in and clocks Arlovsky, knocks him out cold.
What?
One shot. Lucky shot over the top. Like, you just see a guy swinging wild, connected on one of them, knocked him out cold. This is a future UFC champion, and this first fight ever is out. And I mean out.
This man's a monster.
Yeah,
that's what you're telling me.
This guy's on his back, Arlovsky. I mean, he doesn't roll. He's just on his back for like 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
They go outside. They talk to Datsik. The announcers talk to him, and they're like, they go, look, you did great.
Yeah.
They're like, you knocked him out cold, and you really finished him off. And he looks back, and he says, in Russian, he said something, and the translation was almost. And they go, almost? No, all the way. Look back, look back. And he just looks back and then looks at the camera, and he says, and I quote, and then walks away.
You should have put that shit in their own words. That was beautiful.
That's exactly what he did. He went, and then walked away. Fuck? I've never seen a fucking another person do that.
That's terrifying.
Ever. And then just walked away, and they were like, okay, that guy.
That loon.
And they were like, he's going to be hard to beat because you don't know what style he's coming at you with. I mean, literally, he's like rolling and punching, and he's just a psychopath out there. It's insane. So now he's 1-0, and Arlovsky's not. He'll have a better career in life.
Yeah.
Than
Arlovsky's got lots coming down the road that's going to be a party.
Great life.
Right. It's fine.
Not a great life for this guy. And a great life coming in like 5 years. It's coming for him. And
that was foreshadowing that scream, essentially.
Yeah. Like, almost, I really think he meant like, I didn't kill him.
Right.
That's what he meant when he said almost. That's why he was like, yeah, I know what I said. I wanted to kill him. Like, I felt like that's what he was saying.
His heart still beats.
Yeah. So now his second fight is in Moscow. It is versus Martin Makalshin.
Mm-hmm.
Malkalsay? I'm going to fuck these fucking Russian names up all night. I'm going to butcher them. The date of this fight is about 4 different dates on the internet so I really don't know what date this fight is. But
I love it. He
loses to Malkasian. Malkasian. I don't know. He loses to him in 57 seconds.
Wow.
From a rear naked choke. Uh-huh. So he's 1-1. So it's, he didn't get a lucky shot at this guy. He's a, lucky shot kind of a guy. Keeps fighting in that same month of April of 2000. He has his third fight. The next year, April of 2000, he has his third fight.
That's so fast.
Well, he had a year off in between these fights, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And then he comes back in 2000.
All right.
He fights in Moscow. It's at an event called the Pankration Russian Championship 2000.
Okay.
Pankration is a fighting league over there.
Sounds great.
He fights Ramazan Mezhidov. Yeah, that's right. Ramazan Mezhidov. Datsik loses by TKO and gets with strikes. So not going well here. Now he's 1-2.
Okay.
Keeps fighting. That month he's fighting again, April 28th of 2000. He doesn't care.
That's insane to me.
Cartwheel roll kick right through anybody. He doesn't give a shit.
He just got TKO'd due to striking, and he's coming right the fuck back.
I could see if someone grabbed his arm, he tapped real quick, didn't really break a sweat. He got beat enough to where they were like, he can't stand up anymore, and fucking called it. That's nuts.
Go home, get a good night's sleep. We'll do this shit again tomorrow.
Yeah, so, man, he's 1-2 coming into this fight on April 28th. It's Pankration World Championships 2000 now we're doing here. It's versus Audrey Budnick is the guy's name. Datsik wins a first-round TKO with punches.
All right.
So he's back. He's 2-2 right now. There is so much buzz about his craziness, though, because he comes to the ring, he acts like a lunatic, he screams crazy shit at the announcers when they ask him questions, he fights like a maniac. They're like, who is this psychopath, basically? So as much as he's not, the most skilled fighter out there, people want to watch this guy.
The crazy sells tickets, man.
Yeah, they're like, let's go see that crazy Datsik guy. Like, let's go see Red Tarzan, because they're all calling him Red Tarzan, too. And they're like, wow, this Red Tarzan guy's nuts.
I hate that nickname so much.
He's got bright red hair sticking out everywhere. He looks like a crazy guy.
He's like the green guy in Street Fighter, but a Russian one.
Yeah.
Like, what was his name? I forget.
Oh,
Baraka?
God. I don't even remember.
Was it Baraka?
I don't remember at all.
I'll have to Google it.
Look it up.
Okay, go on.
I remember never mind. That was Blanco was the Brazilian one, the monster. Blanco.
I don't know. Vega was. Are you talking about Street Fighter?
I'm talking about Street Fighter. Yeah. Or am I talking about? No, I'm talking. I thought I slipped into Mortal Kombat for a minute, but no, it's Street Fighter.
All right.
Anyway, so February 8th, 2001. We are in Moscow. This is the next year, 2001.
All right.
We're at the Pankration Russian Championship here. Going to start small.
They all sound similar.
Well, it's the same league, Pankration. It's a Russian championship,
you nailed
world
it.
championship.
It is Blanca.
Blanca.
You son of a bitch.
Now, this fight is versus Vitaly Skraba. Skraba. That's how you say it, I imagine.
I want to know what that means in Russian, too.
Man, I wouldn't begin. I did a lot of the Google translating I had to do for this episode. Boy.
A lot of these words, though, like back when names started, they were whatever your fucking career is. So like my mother's side is Schreiner in German, and I mean shoemaker. So that's probably like fucking cobbler or some shit like that.
Something, or psychopathic alcoholic, maybe.
Vodka stiller or some shit.
Vodka drinking child abuser, maybe. Kid beater. I'm not sure. Who knows?
Some sort of fucking criminal retard.
Some criminal lunatic. So 2-2 coming into the fight he is. Datsik has the upper hand the whole time. He gets on top and starts losing his temper, basically. This is when he starts basically just attacking his groin. He's attacking Skraba's groin like crazy. He's just beating on his nutsack.
And he's on top.
He's on his nutsack.
He's in control, and he's just drilling the sack.
He's angry at him. He's beating his nutsack. He does the cartwheel kick and actually clocks him good with like his heel right on top of the head, which I was like, God damn.
Oh, my God.
He got him good, which started this whole big melee. They get on the ground and no one's putting a hold on. They're just rolling around and Datsik popping him in the ball sack. So you see at one point here, Datsik, Skraba he's just rolling around holding his balls. He just stops. The ref breaks him up, and he's like, hold on, you got to give this guy a second with his nutsack here. It's insane, right? So he ends up trying to go after him too early again. Like he keeps trying to attack him. So eventually he's disqualified. The ref has to yank him off of him backwards and throw him off of him. These refs,
stop punching his dick.
These refs are tougher than the fighters half the time, from what I've seen. He goes in, yanks him off. Guys, he's disqualified. It doesn't matter. He's nuts. So the referee yanks him, and he's 2-3.
Did you say he's nuts?
He's nuts. Exactly. Thank you for getting that reference.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. I figure if I preempt you, maybe I won't get one. You never know.
Oh, that's nuts. Go on.
Oh, boy. So April 27th, 2001. This is, a couple months later. Moscow. We're at the M1 MFC motherfucking cold. Russia versus the world 1.
Okay.
So that's pretty much Russia, basically, at that point. He's 2-3 coming in. He fights Patrick DeWitt. So a name I can fucking pronounce.
Sounds Irish.
Because I don't think he's from Russia, because it's Russia versus the world.
Well, that's British, right? DeWitt?
DeWitt, probably D-E-Witt. It's probably French. DeWitt.
Maybe.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. He's not Russian, no. I don't think.
It's Russia versus the world, so he's fighting somewhere else in the world. Right?
Yeah, but it's in Moscow, this event is. He wins on a first-round submission. So he's up in his game.
Yeah.
He's getting submissions in here. He does
Datsik beats fucking DeWitt.
Beats DeWitt. He beats him with a forearm choke, and he goes to 3-3.
Okay.
So you'd think that. Now, like I said, stories are circulating about the crazy that this man possesses. He's crazy like no other.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a story here from a friend of Datsik, who's a boxing promoter named Stanislav Buklov. Of course, obviously. He says, quote, I remember when we visited a private zoo. He tried to get into a cage with a bear, saying that wrestling with wild animals was always a challenge for him. Other people were in panic trying to stop him, but if he had been alone at the zoo, I don't think he would have done anything like that.
What the fuck? He thinks he's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Fucking crazy.
He's going to wrestle a bear?
He wants to wrestle a bear, but what he's saying is he does it for attention. He likes the attention, but whether you're doing it for attention or not, he gets into a cage with a bear and wants to fight it.
You're going to get some attention, all right.
Of course he wouldn't do it alone, but if there's people there, he's like, yeah, that's how I show off. I wrestle fucking wild animals in cages. Like, what a lunatic. That's I don't even...
This was not at the Cleveland Zoo.
No, a private zoo. They have a ton of those private zoos in Russia.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine what those are about.
Put down the bear.
One other thing.
This lunatic.
Let's sedate him a little bit. One other thing I found out during this show is, and we hear a lot about Russia. Russia's in the news a lot, and we all know about Russia from whatever. Russia's a horrible, horrible place.
Is it?
Oh, my God. Like, you hear, Putin... It's fucking beyond anything that you've imagined, this place. It's a dumpy shithole.
It's a giant North Korea.
Everyone's crazy. Everyone's angry. It's insane. It would be like if 4chan had a country. That's what it would be. Its own country.
Oh, that was the nerdiest shit I've ever heard, and that's brilliant.
It's exactly what it is.
That's so funny.
4chan is a racist, lunatic website that you can...
fucking computer nerds.
And I don't even know what you call them, but it's white supremacists.
Right.
Sociopathic white supremacists.
Right.
So that's what we're dealing with here, basically. It's a whole country. We put borders on 4chan. And
that's fucking
brilliant. And they're huge borders, too. So, yeah, but I mean, I think he starts believing his own hype almost because, this seems
as 4chaners do.
As 4chaners do. Yeah, exactly. He put up a real racist meme he thought was great. It didn't get the love he thought it deserved, type of thing. So now he's angry at the world. So anyway, he's doing this whole thing, and I feel like he's believing his own hype. He knows my ticket is to be the crazy guy.
Yeah.
Because that's where his interest comes from. They're not like, we really want to see him get in a skilled grapple with somebody. Right. They're like, we want to see him go batshit and, punch a guy in the balls
Throw
14
some
times.
Spinning kick with the heel of his foot. And then start nut punching.
Absolutely. And we're going to find out, too.
I'll pay tickets to see that shit.
What I mean.
That's what I want to see.
Wait till you see some of the other crazy shit he does with referees and shit. You would watch this guy's... I would watch this guy. I watched 10 of this guy's fights.
I've never heard of this fucking guy.
Neither did I, but I watched his fights. They're entertaining as shit. December 1st, 2001, in Moscow. This is a all capital letters BARS event. Bars. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He does like 5 of these in a row.
There's a bunch of fights at bars.
I assume
I've seen them. I know they exist.
They exist. I don't know about in Russia. I assume they're worse. He's 3-3 coming in. He fights Aldanis Safarov. Okay. He wins by KO with a punch in round 1.
All right.
4-3. Back on the fucking wagon here. He's doing great. December 8th, 2001. A week later. He's fighting again a week later. He fights. It's a Pancration Eurasian Championship 2001. Pancration Eurasian. That's really,
you can't do that.
Pancration sounds gross, by the way. I feel like that's like something that they have to remove from you because your pancreas made too much of it.
Right.
You have way too much pancration. Your pancration levels are way too high.
It sounds fucking terminal.
It's whatever Patrick Swayze died of.
Right.
You know what I mean? Him and his weak-ass pancreas. That's what he had, I think. I'm not sure.
It's what caused when Christopher Reeves fell off the horse. That's why he's in a wheelchair. He has pancreation creation.
It's too much pancration in his system, and it may have caused him not to walk. Right. So, like I said, he's 4-3 coming into this Pancration Eurasian Championship 2001. He fights Romazi Korkelia. That's an easier one to say.
Nice job.
Yeah, not bad here. They have a heated fight. Falling all around. Again, they have to take a break from a low blow by Datsik. Again,
Jesus.
They take a break. He just loves punching people in Datsik.
Yeah.
Eventually, Korkelia goes after the eye of Datsik. He goes after his eye. They're apart for a while, and he basically, because they're like he's recovering from his nuts and he's got an eye he can't see. Right. So like, let's split up for a second. Yeah. They get Datsik attacks him again. At this point, right? He's attacking him in the middle of the ring. He's on top of him. The referee jumps in at this point, yanks Datsik off of him, and pins him to the ground with a forearm choke.
Wow.
He's got him on the ground, and the ref is leaning with all his weight with his forearm on his throat, just pinning him to the ground. You see Datsik
I said stop.
And Datsik isn't swinging on him. That's the other thing. Yeah. He's like, this ref is a bad motherfucker. Like, he's just some bald 50-year-old guy. He looks like he shouldn't be fighting with these guys.
Didn't even take a sack swing?
He didn't even know. and this ref didn't even take like a pause to go, maybe he just grabbed him and pinned his ass to the floor like I do this shit every day. He looked like a bouncer out there with some like just drunken college kids at a bar. It was insanity. So yeah, he takes him down, chokes him to the mat, and he's disqualified for, having to be choked to the mat by the referee. That's usually a disqualification. Right. He's 4-4 after that fight. So it's going okay. He's 500 here, not too bad. Now, August 2nd through August 2002 through January 2003, he has 4 fights.
My God.
Loses them all by decision. They all go the distance, too. That's a lot of getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
And he's not a guy who fights in a way that's like self-preserving. Right. He's not looking for a lengthy career. No, he gets down, and guys, if they're elbowing him in the face, he's like, great, as long as I can punch you in the nuts after you're done with that. Like, he has no like self-preservation whatsoever. Gotcha. He's got to have brain damage in addition to his crazy, like a lot of it. I'm saying, and who knows how much his dad did to him too.
Yeah,
like we've said, if he was alive and didn't die in some Russian military
some concrete bunker somewhere.
Yeah, if he didn't die in Afghanistan in the 70s or something. So who knows? So he loses them all. They're all the BARS events in Russia. He's 4-8 after these fights. So that's not terrific. 4-8 is not good.
He loses 2 of 3.
Yeah, that's
not good.
That's getting ugly.
Yeah.
Out of the octagon, off the field, out of the octagon, he's got 2 children now. This psychopath has birthed children.
Some woman's putting up with this shit.
Same woman, both kids too.
Jesus.
Same woman. He has 2 kids, a son named Yaroslav and a daughter named Vasilia, which sounds like an ointment you put on a little bit of a rash you have in your vagina.
Vasilia?
Vasilia.
Yeah.
Some nice Vasilia here.
I was thinking more of the actual whatever disease it is that needs the ointment. That sounds terrible.
Man, I got pancration, I got Vasilia, I got it all, man. I don't have long to go.
My lungs are shrinking due to Vasilia.
I got nothing to go, man. I can't do it anymore. So,
all the vodka gave me pancration and Vasilia.
And this pancration in my Vasilia is no good, man. So I know how we're giving him a southern accent.
Right.
Oh, man. Oh, this Russian winter sucks, man. Oh, man. Call my cousin, see if he can plow me out of here, because I can't even get out my driveway with these damn Russian winters. So February 3rd, 2003, Moscow. It's another BARS fight here. It's the Cup of Arbat quarterfinals is the name of the event.
Cup of Arbat?
Cup of Arbat.
Is that like an alcohol, or is that just like the Arbot
I think it's like
is the
cup, like a Winston cup. Like you win a cup of Arbot.
Right.
I don't know if
whoever the fuck Arbot used to be.
I don't know what the fuck. All I could think of was Aladdin when I heard that, or wherever he's from. What is that?
Ali Bagua? I don't know.
It's definitely not Ali Bagua.
No, his name was Agrabah. That's it. Yeah.
It sounds like it's that.
Agwagwa.
Agwagwa. So, Agwagwa, the cup of Agwagwa. It's the.
I've got kids, and we watch that movie all the time, and I've seen it a million times. How did I just fucking brain fart that whole thing out?
I had a friend that was a teenager in high school. He used to watch the cartoon every day, and get stoned and watch that.
Watch the actual cartoon, like the 30-minute episodes.
Like, oh, that's good shit, man. He's like,
is it?
That was
it's
great.
not good shit.
He'd watch that and Gargoyles in an hour block, and it was his favorite thing. He'd be like, "Yo, my shit's on. Hold on." That's what he would say. All right, whatever, dude. Yo, my shit's on. Hold on. It's funny as shit.
That's ridiculous.
It was great. So he fights in this. He's 4-8 coming in. This is the plus 94 kilogram division. So this is the heavyweights. I assume here that because 2.2 pounds in a kilogram. So it's going to be the 200 pounder plus area here.
I was trying to do that math in my head, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, fuck this. So he fights Sergey Gur. He's a Belarusian. Is that how it is? Belarusian? He's from Belarus. Belarusian kickboxer. His kickboxing record over his career, he has an extensive kickboxing record. He's won a ton of titles and tournaments. He has an 82-21 record in kickboxing.
God.
So this isn't a kickboxing fight. This is MMA, but 82-21 kickboxing. His MMA
but he's
record,
bringing that skill into the octagon to fight that shit.
And he's fighting a kickboxer, too. So, I mean, you'd think that would translate because Datsik is a kickboxer. So his record, his MMA record, turns out to be 2-1-1. He doesn't fight many MMA fights, this guy, Gur. Datsik loses by referee stoppage in the second round. I'm sorry.
Oh, boy.
I believe there was a cut or something in that deal. One of those. I could not find the footage of that.
Feels like robbery whenever they stop it due to blood.
That's
that feels
the worst.
Shitty.
Yeah, it feels like a worked wrestling thing. Like you're watching. Like, oh, bullshit. Yeah, come on.
Fuck out of here.
He had a worse cut last week. Come on.
I've seen him bleed way more than that.
Yeah, Flair's hair still has some yellow to it. It's not even pink yet all the way. Let's go. So he loses this one. Now he's 4-9. So MMA is not going well for Datsik here. So what does he do? He's like, I'm going to try kickboxing. I'm getting my ass kicked over here left and right. Let's try a different fucking sport. But
a guy that's a kickboxer just beat you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean?
He's a really good kickboxer, too. But still, referee stoppage, maybe he was a lucky cut. Maybe it was a headbutt. We don't know how it happened.
Right.
So let's give him the benefit of the doubt here.
All right.
He goes into kickboxing with his 4-9 MMA record. It's clean for kickboxing. He starts fighting in the Fight Club Arbot events. We're back in Arbot, so it has to be like a section of town or something. I don't know.
Fight Club. You don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it. Well, we're going to talk about it. Fight Club Arbot events. They're all in Moscow. He makes his pro kickboxing debut April 21st, 2004 at the Fight Club Arbot in Moscow. Second round KO versus Dmitry Vorobyev.
All right.
He's 1-0.
Yeah.
So he starts out
He's a
gangbusters.
Kickboxing son of a bitch.
He's a kickboxing bastard. He does really well in kickboxing, actually. He wins his next two fights in the third and first rounds by TKO and KO, respectively.
All right.
So he's 3-0 in kickboxing out of the gate. And then he has one of the most entertaining fights I've ever seen in my life. Hey, everybody. Just got to break away from the show for one moment to tell you about our sponsor, ProFlowers.
ProFlowers.com.
ProFlowers.com is great. Guys, have you ever forgotten your anniversary?
Oh, it's the worst.
Something, or you panic at the last minute and you have to go run out and flowers cost you $200.
It's terrible.
Or worse, you forget altogether and then the moment passes you. No good at all. And we've all done it.
Yeah.
ProFlowers will make it right, guys.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Right now, ProFlowers has a special offer just for our listeners. Gets you $10 off your purchase of $29 or more. This deal works on the best-selling gifts like the 100 Blooms bouquet, a dozen red roses, even the totally unique gift plants, all that stuff.
When you send them to their office, they love having those just so that everybody else can see it.
Oh, and you did that, didn't you?
You send the ProFlowers.
Solid
the
move.
Girls see them. The girls in the office see them. And then she gets home and she's happy for weeks. Just do it, you guys.
Absolutely.
Go to ProFlowers.com and send your girl some nice flowers.
ProFlowers bouquets are guaranteed fresh for 7 days or your money back. They have a 7-step quality check, which means the flowers are always awesome. Do yourself a favor and help our show by supporting ProFlowers. I know there's a birthday, there's an anniversary. You guys have something coming up where it would be very helpful for you to get $10 off your purchase of $29 or more at ProFlowers.com. This deal definitely won't last. Go to proflowers.com and enter the code CIS at checkout to get the special deal. Proflowers.com, promo code CIS.
And now back to the show.
This was awesome. December 1st, 2004. This was really hard to track down which fight this was because there's a video of it, but it doesn't say who the opponent is, and I had to do it by process of elimination.
Gotcha.
And it was not fucking easy, but figured it out. 90% sure that this fight is against, it's at the Fight Club Arbat in Moscow. Mm-hmm. It's against Andrei Zurikov. It's a really weird environment. Okay. It's a wrestling ring, like a boxing ring, like a,
there's ropes and shit. Yeah.
And it's a square.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I can't explain it. It looks like a high school gym that you put a bunch, like, it looks like there's a rave going on at a high school gym, and there's also a ring where people are beating the shit out of each other.
That's bizarre.
It's a weird environment, and it's got that weird, like, Russian lighting. Like, they have not perfected lighting as a culture, which is odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know they invented acting pretty much and method acting and all that.
Right.
Well, they didn't figure out the lighting. So
do they have just like a spotlight on the center of the ring only?
Not even. It's just this weird, like, office industrial weird lighting. It's so hard to explain. And all of the events over there that I see, they all have weird lighting. Like they've never figured out. Just get one dude from America to go over and go, yeah, you need this lighting package. You put this over here, that there. You turn the blue on, kick that, boom, there you go. There you're lit. One dude could help the whole country. Just pass that along to your countrymen.
Kick the blue on. I like that.
Yeah, you got to get a little cooler.
It's good. Yeah.
Cooler. Cool it down a
good
little bit.
Instructions. Just fucking kick the blue on. Bah, 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 bah.
Perfect.
That's Italian.
So they're in this. Yeah, do that. There we go. All right. Anyway,
you're looking for a union Italian guy to come over and run their fucking line.
Bah, bah, bah,
kick the blue. Bah, bah, bah.
That's what you need. You need some...
a fucking longshoreman.
Yeah, you need some, like, union gaffer and a director of photography to go over there and be like, this is what you do, all right? Listen to me. Nah, hook it up. They had too much wattage on this one. I switched it. I ran it from here to there. Don't worry about it. I ain't going to blow no circuits. What do I fucking look like over here? An amateur?
And you can't have some fucking union scab run this shit. I'll fly a guy over here every time you have an event.
Right.
Listen, it's $38 an hour, but you pay the man. You pay the man.
Plus airfare. It's golden time on the weekends. Also, too, we got something called another continent golden time. That's quadruple pay. You're going to have to pay for that.
You're going to have to pay some meals, some fucking sleep time. We're going to get this guy taken care of.
See what he's doing.
But he's the best in the business.
He's the best in the business. You're going to look beautiful. Every guy in there, you're going to see their pecs popping. You're going to see it's going to look beautiful.
It's going to glisten.
If a guy digs in and pulls another guy's eyeball out, you're going to see that connecting tendon. Let me tell you something. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to glisten.
You're going to see a fucking retina. That's how good my guy is. You're going to see retinas.
Retina. So he's fighting this Zurikov guy, and he looks like Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. That's the best way to describe him. He doesn't look too much like Zach Morris, but he's like a blonde guy, and he's got like this haircut that's very much like
he's Giles from Street Fighter.
No, he looks like a high school kid from 1998 is what he looks like, this kid. He looks like a surfer. Like, I don't know where this guy got put into Russia.
He's got a Tommy Hilfiger shirt.
Yeah, and he looks like a pussy the way he's fighting, too. I mean, not for nothing, but he fights like... He holds his head back like he's scared and just throws and kicks. He's really not doing well in this fight. You can tell.
This is so great.
But he's active in there. He's trying his ass off. Anyway, he looks to basically Datsik is outsizing Zach Morris. Ends up again going after Zach Morris's eye in this one. I don't know what it is about digging people's eyeballs out, but he's disqualified, right? So what Datsik does is go after the referee. The referee...
Datsik got disqualified?
Yeah, Datsik gets
for beating the shit out of Mark Paul Gosselaar?
For going after Zach Morris here. Yeah, it was bad. They had to hold Slater back. It was awful. So
Screech is throwing his dick around.
He can't help it. He can't help it. Kelly's crying. So he does this. The referee is huge, okay?
Lisa Turtle scaring people with her fucked up
her
face.
Pill addiction, too. She's got bad problems
Have you
lately.
seen her face?
Yeah, it's
Holy
scary.
shit.
Poor Lisa Turtle. That's just a sad state of affairs. Poor, I don't think Screech would even want it anymore.
No.
That's sad.
He's got a giant crank he's flashing at people, too.
She's got mental health issues, too. The old
I know.
Lark of Voorhees
so
there.
bad.
So anyway, Datsik gets up in the ref's face. The ref is enormous, okay? He's got to be 6'6", 6'7", and looks just like a monster, basically. So as he's getting in the ref's face, Zach Morris pops in and like tries to defend the ref. Like, he's like, hey, I'll take care of this. He jumps in front of the ref and, like, throws a punch and a couple of lame kicks. He looks like a kid who thinks he knows karate. And he's like, I'll fight, boom, boom. And he's like, here's my display of kicks. Yeah. Like, he does this thing, and the ref just shoves him aside.
While he's doing his kata.
Yeah. He's like, I'll defend you. And the ref's like, the fuck out of here, dude. Like, I got this. He shoves Zach Morris aside.
We don't need your crane kick right now, sir.
Get out of here, Ralph Macchio. Take a hike. He shoves Ralph Macchio, Zach Morris aside, right? He's gone and just like starts manhandling Datsik, basically. Datsik's trying to hit him. They go into like this wrestling thing. They tumble to the side of the ring and out of the ring through the ropes.
Oh, shit.
Into the fucking crowd, these two fighting.
This is much better than any other fight
ever.
Yeah,
this is incredible.
This is so good.
This is the referee, man. Yeah. This isn't the other fighter or
This is what
else.
You bought a ticket for.
Yeah. And Zach Morris is looking like he's just like, hey, I'm not included in this. Like, he's standing off to the side like, hey, come on, guys. I'm feeling kind of just left out over here.
He won. He should just fucking be happy.
What the fuck? So there's this big melee down on the floor, obviously, and there's a pile of people, and there's, it's not a lot of camera angles. This is not a high-value production over here. So anyway, out of nowhere, the referee just pops up and walks back into the ring like, yeah, motherfucker, king of the hill, like standing in there and, raises Zach Morris's hand, and you don't see Datsik again. So I don't know what the hell happened to him. I don't know if security took him out. I don't know if other people dragged him away.
They had to have arrested him, right?
I don't think he got arrested. It's Russia. You're allowed to attack her. And he got his ass kicked. The referee was like, get over here, young man. Like, again, it was bouncer time.
Yeah.
The way the ref shoved the Zach Morris guy out of the way was just, he didn't even say, he was just like, get out of here. I can defend me. I'll defend myself.
I don't need you.
I don't know where they're getting these Russian MMA refs, but they should be the ones fighting because they're way tougher than these guys. Zach Morris should have been the ref.
Probably all fought.
They probably did. I want to see Zach Morris as the ref and the referee fight Datsik. That's what I wanted to see.
And then when it gets out of control, Zach Morris has got to try to break that shit up.
Good luck.
That I'll watch.
They just shove him.
I'm into that.
See him go flying out of the ring. He ends up 3-1 kickboxing because of that, obviously. Now we're going to get into some Datsik personality. Well, we've got into a little bit of the Datsik personality, but now we're going to get into a little bit deeper. I have it in their own words here on him being interviewed. Wow. Okay. This is going to be offensive. A lot of it. Well, anytime tonight, no, not the one. There's a bunch of them. Anytime I say we're going to do an in their own words right now, apologies.
I can't wait to hear this stuff.
It's hard to say expletive, deleted bullshit. No, I'm going to say what he fucking said.
It's hard to say asterisks.
Yeah. So basically, okay. We have an in their own words on him being asked which clubs he fought for, like which, because they have fighter clubs and all that kind of thing, which clubs he fought for. This is his answer to that. This is a very simple. I fought for them, and them.
Right.
Super simple, right? Very easy. Not an easy thing with Datsik ever. He says, in their own words, quote, a bunch of different ones. I didn't fight for faggots. I fought... I fought for myself and Russia, for Rus, for white people. Losers fight for money and we fight for fun. I fight for the fighting spirit of white people. I'm a white warrior, born a warrior and will die a warrior. I'm a warrior and the path of warrior is death.
I love it.
What the fuck is that? That is not what that guy asked you, dude, at all. He didn't ask you any of that shit. None of that. You didn't answer his question, actually.
And you just told us that you say the word faggot a lot.
Oh,
a whole lot.
Fucking he can't. It's in the first sentence. Yeah. In the second sentence to a
away.
Reporter. And then he went on to say how I love how he said losers fight for money. We fight for fun. He's like he tries to portray this thing of I'm a psychopath who likes getting my head beat in and it's fun for me. He says like he
I
feels
don't
no
fight
pain.
for faggots.
I didn't fight for faggots. I fought for myself in Russia.
What
the fuck does that mean? Was someone insinuating that you were?
Right.
Like what does that mean?
Did somebody say you were employed by faggots or that they benefited from your fighting? What are you talking about?
I don't know what.
And what is his description of a faggot?
That's the other thing. Who knows what he thinks that is? That's probably just a normal guy who's not a psychopath and doesn't call himself Red Tarzan. And then he gets into, I'm a white warrior. It's like, that's your quote?
Yeah.
That's what you want to go.
I fight for white people. Okay, but they're gay white people. I don't know what he's calling a faggot, though. Is he referring to gay people?
I believe yes, because he has a problem with it again later in another quote. But What the hell is this guy thinking?
It's so fucking funny.
He said this to a reporter. This wasn't like
he's
got to
make sure. I feel like there was like a rumor or something because he had to get the word out.
Yeah, I didn't fight. Yeah, like they said, like, did you fight for one of those gay clubs? And he was like, no, I don't fight for faggots. What the hell is going on?
So good.
So now he's definitely homophobic and a hardcore racist.
For sure.
It's a white warrior. I'm going to say that's a racist.
I think that's some great deduction right there.
And it only gets worse, guys. Okay. It only gets worse. Goes back to kickboxing after that because, what the fuck? Why not? Yeah. Wins his next 2 fights by decision, or one by decision, one by KO in January and April of 2005. He's got a 5-1 kickboxing record. So that's not bad. Doing well there. On May 19th, 2005, he tries MMA again. Let's give that another
Don't
shot.
do that.
I don't know why he's doing it. What's the point at this point? You're going to fight another You got a ref you got an eye on?
4-12. Don't do that.
He's got a ref. He's got a real eye on. He's wanting to throw down with a ref for a while.
Somebody in the MMA said he did fight in MMA for faggots. That's what happened.
That's what it was.
Like, you got to find that guy.
I got to find him and tell him no. So this is in Ultimate Combat Russia, which is the alternate title of Russia.
Right, that's just Russia. That's just Russia.
Russia. This is an MMA fight. He's 4-9 MMA coming in. His kickboxing doesn't transfer over.
Gotcha.
He fights Stanislav Nuschik. Yep. Of course, his name's Stanislav also, because everyone's name is Stanislav over there.
Which is in American is just Stan.
Stan.
Right.
Just Stan.
In America.
In American,
that is fucking Stan.
So, yeah, old Stanislav. All I keep thinking of, again, go back to The Wire, the great TV show The Wire. I keep thinking of the season 2 Russian hitman guy that was Sergei, and everybody called him Boris. And he's like, why always Boris? Why always Boris?
Well, you hacky fucking jerks. I'm sorry. Our extensive knowledge of Russia is Rocky and Bullwinkle. I'm really sorry.
But every time he gets mad, too, they're like, oh, what's up, Boris? And he's always like, why always Boris? Like, he's just to the point where it's like a humorous thing with a killer.
I do not chase moose and squirrel.
Why? Sergei to me sounds even more Russian.
That's terrifying. That's such a scary name.
Yeah, this guy was scary in The Wire. But watch The Wire. You all should anyway. You have an HBO Go code.
I do now. I'm going to get in.
He wins by first round submission in this. So
all right.
He's on his feet again, Datsik. Yeah. It's a heel hook he wins by.
I don't know what that is.
I don't have any fucking clue what that is. He takes his record to 5-9. It's enough to win a fight and make a guy submit. So it sounds painful. August 23rd, 2006. He fights in, this is his only non-Moscow fight since the first one in St. Petersburg. He fights in, here we go. Let's get this fucking, wow, this is a long, Beloreschensk, Krasnodar Krai.
Boy, do they love Ks.
Yeah, it's a lot of Ks.
Yeah.
It's basically a town in Russia that's home to about 54,000 people in this town. Founded in 1862, officially a town since 1958.
All right.
I had to look it up and see what I was like, is that a country I don't know about? Literally, is that a country I don't know about? Like, that was in the... It might not even exist anymore.
Right.
But no, it's in Russia. So whatever. This is Fight Night 2. I don't know. I don't know what happened in Fight Night 1.
Hope Fight Night 1 was a big success because they're having a second.
They're having a second. Yeah. Datsik wasn't in the first one, so I don't know. He's 5-9 coming in, and he's fighting Andrei Kirsanov. Everybody who fights his name Stanislav or Andrei. Every single one of them. Wins by second round submission with an arm bar.
Oh.
That's his last MMA fight, and he's doing well here. He goes to 6-9 for his record. Rarely do we see a guy finish out a fighting career with wins.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
No, usually it's over because we know it's over because he's just rattled off 8 losses.
I just lost 8 times and I can't remember where I live, so I'm going to go ahead and quit now.
I piss my pants like clockwork at 1:30 every afternoon.
I don't know, man. The lunch whistle goes off and I just piss myself. I have no idea my brain's, the wiring's bad now. Just cross-wired. I have no idea.
He had a short circuit somewhere and I just piss.
Yeah, so this is 2006. He disappears. So he's not fighting, and he disappears. No one knows where he is, and he's like, what happened to that crazy fighter guy?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's wondering.
Where's that guy that just rattles off faggot on a whim?
Yeah, who's that? Yeah, I want another quote from him. Yeah. There's reporters like, I need a good quote for this week. Bad. Where's Datsik? He'll give me a quote. Now, there's widespread rumors of his death at this point.
Oh.
There's widespread rumors that he died in a train accident. And this circulates big time. People continued to think he was dead for months.
Wow.
Months. Until 2007, when he and a bunch of his little ally crony buddies here do a string, and I mean a string, of robberies all over St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
And we realize, oh, he's not dead.
Guess who's not dead?
No.
He popped in the door and said, "We do this for white people."
Yeah, we do this for... He did, too.
Popped in the door and said, "This is not for faggots."
No! So, they rob cell phone stores is what they're doing. Their main gig is they're going around, this is 2007, too. Yeah. They're going around robbing cell phone stores, coming in with guns blazing, like raid style, like, a police raid, basically.
Give me your Motorola Razr.
And they steal a bunch of fucking Nokia phones and take money, and they rob the customers, too, and take their phones, and they're out. And they do this, like, over 50 times. Jesus. They just rob and pillage, and they're just going off.
Cell phones are that valuable back then.
It's a strong arm. It's a strong arm operation, basically. They rob everybody. Later on in 2007, he's arrested for these armed robberies.
Oh, shit.
I don't think you want to be arrested for armed robbery in Russia. That doesn't sound terrific. Like I said, all in total, over 50 incidents of robbery. And also, too, they were, like, doing strong-arm shit for, like, they were, like, doing murder threats for people and shit like that. They were, like, take money to go threaten somebody. They were straight gangster shit. But then they were also, like, claiming they were ultra pro-Russia, anti-mafia. Huh. We'll get into his political...
You're doing very mafia shit.
Yeah, we'll get into his political views and his absolute insanity with politics and with not even politics, just society in general.
I'm jacked.
He claims at this point to be... Now, because the Russians give him a mental evaluation.
Oh, boy.
Obviously, because he seems a little out there.
This should be fun.
This is when he claims that this is his name, okay? It's not Datsik. It's not, this is his name. And I quote, okay, this is the best self-given nickname ever. Now, if I asked you what your name was and you came out with this, I would have you put away in 2 seconds. He says his name is, quote, Red Tarzan, son of the pagan god Svarog, ruler of the Murmansk forests from the tribe of Grey Wolves.
What the fuck?
What the fuck does that mean? That's his name.
Didn't somebody say that in a trial recently, though? Like something similar to that? No. It was in one of our episodes. Somebody gave a shit weird thing like that, but right? This guy legit thinks that's his name.
Red Tarzan, son of the pagan god Svarog, ruler of the Murmansk forests from the tribe of Grey Wolves.
He sounds like Borat.
Oh, yeah. And well, that's the thing. I feel like this is where he's from, like the town in Borat. But like, I feel like there was a guy who went to college, like a psychiatrist who went to college and learned a bunch of stuff, and he's sitting there with a legal pad writing, and he went, "Pardon me, you want to repeat that second part again? Is it Grey Wolves, did you say?
Hit me with that third part, too.
Wolves. Okay.
You said son of the... What the fuck?
So you're from a tribe of wolves and the son of a god who rules a forest.
Right.
I don't understand exactly Red Tarzan. Maybe you could explain further. And it gets crazier from here, okay? He claims to hear voices and his...
I mean, He just told us that he hears voices by saying that that's his name. You assume, yep, that guy hears voices.
He hears voices. It gets even crazier. He claims to hear voices, and not only is he extremely anti-Semitic at this point.
Perfect.
Hugely anti-Semitic, and we'll get into that. Hates Jewish people, but on top of that, extremely anti-Christian, too. Just as anti-Christian as he is anti-Semitic. He is
so good.
He is the son of a pagan god, remember, right. So Christianity is no good.
And he doesn't fight for faggots.
Not at all, Jimmy. And he says he is anti-Christian because, quote, Jesus is a member of the Mossad.
Oh, my God.
The Mossad is Israeli intelligence. It's like Israeli CIA, in case you don't know out there. But
Jesus is a member of it.
He's
still
a member
alive.
of the Mossad. He's not even the head of the agency. He's just a member. He's Sergeant Jesus.
Just don't worry. Somewhere.
Sergeant Jesus. Do you have that paperwork? He's like, fuck, the lieutenant's on my ass again. At least if you're going to call Jesus a member of a group, at least say he's partially in the management. You know,
Jesus sits around saying, "I'm too old for this shit."
Yeah, 2,000. I'm too old for this shit. 2,000 years. I was up crazy. On the cross now.
So silly.
Riggs.
What do you want, Murtaugh?
I'm telling you,
Jesus, Murtaugh.
What a fucking maniac,
Ridiculous.
though. He's a member of the Mossad. At this point, he's diagnosed schizophrenic and committed to a high-security mental facility, which is good for everyone.
That's where he needs to be.
I would feel comfortable if he was always in in mental facilities from here on out. So now he's in prison, okay? And there's a reporter that talks to him in prison, in the mental hospital.
Really?
Somehow gets in and talks
Somebody
to him.
gives that guy permission to enter with that lunatic, and he wants to be in there?
Yeah, this is a video, and I found a translation of the video, and this was not easy, but I had to know what he said because he looked pissed.
Is he restrained the whole time?
Oh, no, he's loving talking shit. They're not, I think they're through a thing.
Okay, all right.
So
there's some safety involved.
Before I get into this, Perun, I'll call it Perun, is a Russian god, just so you know. One of the gods in Russia is Perun, because that's going to come up, okay? Okay. This is the answer to the question. First he said, how is jail for you? And blah, blah, blah. And he just said some crazy shit. And then they said, so is everything okay? Has anyone bothered you? Okay, simple question.
Easy enough.
Nobody messes with me. Right. A little bit. Guys are assholes. Whatever. His answer, not so simple. Let's get into this. In their own words, holy shit. Okay. In their own words, quote, Jews, bastards who got control of the government power, made all the white people work and put them on drugs, thinking everyone will be on the needle bullshit. Soon, 5 million cons will break all the wires and get out. In Russia, we Russians have our own god, Severog, and Jesus is a kike, agent of Mossad, Jewish prostitute whom Russians will finally tear apart. Perun will come out and tear everyone to shit. Jews are my enemy and the enemy of white people.
He is Mel Gibson. That's awesome.
What the fuck is that? Mel Gibson is currently working on a Viacheslav Datsik movie where he plays him and gets to rant. What the
great.
Fuck? That was the answer to. Anybody been bugging you? He just gives answers to questions that weren't asked. Jews is what he said. Bastards who control the government. What the fuck is he talking about?
That's awesome.
Wow, that is amazing. Party. So now he said he doesn't fight for faggots and Jesus is a kike Jewish prostitute. What the fuck is going on with this guy?
2 amazing quotes.
Wow. Yes, and they had to come out of my mouth. Wonderful, everybody. Thanks. This is great. Defend me if this ever comes out.
At least there's going to be music behind it.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be music behind it. I should put music and like some kind of watermark sound-wise.
At least everybody has to isolate that with music behind it. So if you're ever up for office or something.
Yeah. Don't worry. Well, I think that would probably help me now. You know. One of the parties would nominate me immediately, I feel like. I'm not sure which one, but
President of the
never
world.
mind. We don't do politics here. So June 2010, Datsik is transferred. Why would you do this, okay? He's transferred from a high security unit to a lower one.
Why?
Why?
How?
For what?
How did that happen?
Why would you think he is less dangerous or less anything? It's just as bad. Whatever he
sounds
bad.
to be the craziest person in whatever jail he's in.
Yeah, he's been in a mental institution. Right. He was deemed too crazy for Russian prison. Think about that. Too crazy for the gulag.
Right.
They're like, no. He's just going to be dangerous.
Right.
Like, wow.
He needs a padded cell somewhere with lots of restraints.
Yeah.
And now we're going to put him into a lower security prison.
Jesus.
Do they have,
Christ.
I hope, at least the same amount of restraints?
Well, let's see
room.
here. Well, that's June of 2010. He's transferred to the lower security, so hopefully he's feeling better. Oh, wait, no, he's not. August of 2010, he gets outside and pulls apart a chain link fence with his bare hands.
Holy shit.
And escapes the institution.
Do you know how hard that is?
Yes. You have to be, I don't know, crazy as fuck to do that.
And super strong and want the fuck out.
Crazy strength and everything else. Yeah. The official said, quote, he tore a hole in the chain link fence with his bare hands and fled. We immediately informed police about his escape, obviously, because he's a psychopath. Yeah. So now we have a lunatic, crazy, trained fighter, insane person escaped from a mental institution roaming around Russia.
By pulling apart the fence with his hands.
I've never heard of that. But people dig holes. We never thought about that in American prisons. We're always burrowing out of shit and trying to get over walls. Just rip a hole in it with your bare hands, assholes.
But a chain link fence, that's the fucking barrier between criminals and the outside world?
It's a lower security one.
That is so low.
Lower, I would say so.
That's a dog kennel.
I would assume they would. True. I would assume they wouldn't. Maybe they give him one of those bottles with the little ball in the water thing. Right. But I would assume that they would. I don't know why they would not let him out. I would assume they think no one's going to rip through the fence with their bare hands. Like, we'll get to them before they climb it. But he just said, no, climb it. I'm just go through it.
That's so fucking insane.
That's the kind of guy he is. Now, on this, we have a beef. He's got a beef now. These guys have beef for the next 10 years, which is awesome.
With chain link fences.
No, with a guy named Alex Emelianenko. Okay? He's got a brother named Fedor Emelianenko, who's apparently a pretty good MMA fighter. Okay. And so is this guy. This guy's an MMA fighter also. This guy also had a history as like a total thug. Okay. And then he got into MMA fighting and kind of got clean. And he had some legal troubles later on that we'll get into also. But they have a beef. Okay. They talk shit about each other in the media. They don't like each other. They want to fight each other. They challenge each other to fights and shit. It's crazy.
And he's doing this publicly while he's on the lam?
Yeah, they asked Alex about them. I'm just going to call him Alex because his last name's terrible. They asked Alex if Datsik is dangerous to regular people and if they should be afraid of him, that he's out of the institution.
He ripped apart a fucking chain link fence. Why do you need an answer to that question?
Have you read his quotes?
Have you read his quotes and have you heard how he escaped? Fuck yes, he's a danger to society.
Have you seen him attack a nutsack? Because it's with vigor.
He attacks a chain link fence the same way he attacks a sack.
Same shit. I'm telling you, man. So Alex says about this quote, he is very dangerous for regular people on the streets. He has trained before. He is a big guy, big build, but has no brains at all. I would want to tell people not to provoke them if they see him on the streets. If possible, follow him and see where he goes and then inform the police. So they're treating him like he's an animal that escaped from the zoo. Like, if you see the tiger, don't go near it. It's dangerous. Call the zoo, and they'll hit it with a trank dog.
There is no follow him, by the way. I will call the police, say, he went that way.
I'm not. Yeah, it's like, hey, stay away from him, but follow him. Make sure that's what you want that guy turn around. You following me? No, I swear to God. Cover your balls and run. What the fuck, man?
And your chest. He can rip apart a chain link fence. He can probably rip apart your fucking breast cage.
I swear I'm not Jewish, and you run away. I don't know what you say.
I'm not Jewish. I'm not a faggot. I'm running.
I'm running.
Watch me run. I don't run like a faggot.
Oh, so day after the escape, he's out there.
Oh, my God.
He's out there hunting people
of course.
Things and craziness, right? So the day after the escape, a St. Petersburg mobile phone store is robbed, which it's in St. Petersburg where the institution.
Got a suspect.
Yeah. The thief makes off with 7,000 rubles, which is about $225. You looked at me like, I don't even know if that's worth it. It's about $200.
It sounds like a made-up currency.
It
rubles.
does. And there's 7,000 is like a shitload. Here, pockets full of it. There you go. Just take it all.
It's worth nothing.
It's $225. I feel like that's a lot you have to carry around.
Yeah,
it's for nothing.
I wish that they would like around the world just change that shit. If you've got something that's equal to like pesos, they're like fucking 300 of them to $1 or whatever. I don't know what the currency exchange is.
Who knows
but
now?
If it's that
8 to 1 or something,
fucking just change it. Change it to something else.
Starting over. We give up.
When we have thousands of this to your $1, we're starting over.
We're giving out bottle caps that can't be worth less than our shitty currency. Doesn't matter.
Exchange it for bottles. They're at least 5 cents.
Yeah, at least you'll get the refund.
I've got 20 glass bottles. That's what $1 is.
That's 7,000 rubles he steals and a Nokia phone. Mm-hmm. So it's 2010 and he's got a Nokia phone, which I think he just didn't know that wasn't good anymore.
He's essentially
been away for 4 years.
He's got a cell phone and a deposit for a fucking account. That's what he's got.
He's like a flip phone. These are sweet. People are like, what the fuck you got there? He's like, oh, Nokias are bad.
And that's a strong arm robbery, and that's what he makes away with.
That's it. 200 and a Nokia phone. But, I mean, he is crazy and escaping from the institution, so catch can at that point, whatever you can do. The sales staff IDs Datsik as the robber because they said he escaped. It's right there. Was it this guy maybe? Yeah, crazy guy.
Weird.
Now, at this point, he does not look anything like he looked before. He's gained a lot of weight, and he's got a bald head most of the time.
Of course he does.
Sometimes he's got like a crew cut, but he's got a bald head, and he looks like a drooling psychopath. His nose is collapsed on one side. Like, if you look like at his nostril, like he has like no nostril on one side, and like he looks like a mess.
He looks like he's been in a fight and it healed wrong.
He looks like he's been hit by a truck, and then they just stuck him out there. He's crazy, okay? So a few days later, he's out on the street, obviously, in Russia. They're looking for him, clearly.
He's the most recognizable person in Russia is what he is.
And they all know who he is,
right.
And he acts like a crazy person, so you wouldn't want to stay in Russia, and he doesn't. He shows up in Norway.
Wow.
He appears in Norway.
He gets across a border.
He gets across a border with help of a couple other people, and he tells reporters that he's seeking political asylum. Political asylum, and we'll get into why.
Fugitive.
For an escaped crazy fugitive. Tells them he's seeking political asylum. He tells them, quote, I am not a nationalist, I am a racist. Wow. Obviously. Yeah. So you can take me in because I'm not a pro-Russian guy. I just hate minorities.
Right.
That's what he said. I just only like white people. So That's clear.
And as a country, you're pleading for political asylum, and you're telling them, I'm a racist. Please let me in.
Well, that's his way of, like, you should let me in. Like, I'm not a nationalist. Don't think that. Don't think I'm, like, a pro-Russian guy.
Right.
I'm just a racist. Like, that's fine, right?
That's a hell of a plea.
That's his plea. And it's odd. He claims that the group that he is a part of that was recently banned in Russia called the Slavic Union, where he claims that they're coming to Norway because the Russians are cracking down on him. And so he's going to basically start up a satellite office in Norway for this crazy, insane white supremacist movement that he's a part of. Nuts.
That's incredible to me that's his plea to, like, get in. Like, I just want to start my own clique of weird fucking men.
Weirdos.
Yeah.
And this isn't, like, official. He hasn't told
the government.
No, he snuck into the country. He didn't come in, like, on a plane and a passport, and they were waiting for him at the airport. He contacted the press, told them this, and then he said, you're not going to catch me.
Right.
The group there, the Slavic Union group, says that Datsik will never be taken alive, they tell him. So he's just a crazy fuck, basically. He's in your country, he's crazy, and he's got more people with him who are just as crazy, and he'll never be taken alive.
He's Russian Billy the Kid.
Pretty much.
Right. Russian racist Billy the Kid.
I don't know how racist Billy the Kid. Probably. It was the 1800s, but not this racist.
No, he hung out with Mexican people.
That's true.
He was
fine.
Yeah.
He was fine.
He was a
That's
great,
good.
Upstanding young man.
Hated the Jews, though.
Hated the Jews.
Oh, boy. So, oh, my. So anyway, his antics in this whole thing and he's getting a lot of press attention. Yeah. They're talking about him a lot. It spikes membership in this group. There's people that like what he's saying.
Are you shitting me?
Music to my ears. Oh no, there's whatever crazy shit you say. There's always a group of crazier assholes willing to follow you.
You're not wrong.
Happens.
Charles Manson had a huge family.
That's what I mean. Well, this guy's got one too. At this point, it's basically he's more racist. It's the psychopath Manson family. I would rather hang out with the Manson family than this group. I really would. At least they had acid. That sounds like it might have been fun in the 60s.
They had a party. They had a ranch and everything.
Some pure 60s acid. That could have been a good time. I'm just saying that. Girls everywhere. Much better. You think they got girls around these guys? When's the last time they've seen a girl naked? Never.
With that nose, it's not happening.
Christ, and they're they look at them and go, oh my God, and they're ranting about Jews, and they're like, no, we're going to go now.
Jews and faggots, and no, I'm out of here.
Cheryl, do you want to go? We're going to go. We have to wake up early.
We'll pay our own tab.
I got the Uber. It's fine. So I already called. He'll be here in 5. So I already did.
More like Dexter Manley.
I did. Well, that's my voice.
Your girl voice.
That's all I got. Sorry, guys. So Datsik and 2 other neo-Nazis at this point, 2 other crazy people from around. They're not...
God, Jesus, they multiply.
Yeah, they're not Russian. They're from other failed Slavic states, they say later on. We'll get into the exact thing.
How crazy is that neo-Nazis find friends? Like, that's so nuts to me that...
Whatever batshit viewpoint you have, there's someone that'll follow you, especially with the internet. You can find them now. They don't have to be, like, next door to you.
But there's so much shame involved. How do you sit at a bar drinking a beer and then just lean over to a guy next to you and go, I hate Jews and faggots?
Jesus is a kike prostitute. Like, what the fuck? Really?
Yeah, dude, I'm on your team.
Yeah,
what?
Totally,
Are you shitting me?
That's
how do you blurt that out?
Unbelievable. So Datsik and these 2 other neo-Nazis open up a tattoo shop as a clubhouse because imagine walking into that tattoo shops nowadays. They've become more like they're more like they want women to feel comfortable in them. They don't want women to feel like they're going to get raped when they walk in there. So they're very like kind of a little more flowery. And there's still a big
music playing.
Yeah, there's still a big dirtbag doing your tattoo. But other than that, it's a very nice environment. Like it's not. This is like one of those scary old school biker tattoo.
Yeah, where you walk in and you go, "Can I get a rose?" And they're like, "Oh, we got swastikas."
Yeah. You're like shit. Never mind.
Oh, we got swastikas and iron eagles. Which one you want?
Your shotgun, maybe if you're lucky. That's it.
Maybe some lightning bolts or a fucking.
You want an SS on your neck? No? All right, never mind then. Can't do it for you. Sorry. I'm telling you. Dude, that's...
We can put an iron cross right there on your forehead. What do you say?
It's exactly what
Unbelievable.
It is. It's unreal. So they open up a tattoo shop and start doing batshit. I don't know if they're actually doing tattoos or if they're just doing tattoos on their buddies and just acting crazy the rest of the time or what. But basically neighbors report crazy shit coming out of the tattoo parlor. I've said crazy 7,000 times this episode, and it's still it's losing its value at this point. They are doing loud noises, weird shit, like crazy loud noises. Then they report in police reports, there's neighbors stating that they would sometimes see the tattoo shop people outside, quote, practicing fighting and boxing while completely naked.
What?
In the Norwegian wintertime. What the fuck are you doing?
How do you go from getting a tattoo to taking the rest of your clothes off?
They're just hanging out. It's a it's a clubhouse.
Oh, because they got no customers because people are showing up wanting roses.
Because it's a Nazi clubhouse. That's all it is. It's not a tattoo parlor. It's a Nazi clubhouse where they tattoo each other sometimes, I feel like. It's unreal. This is the point.
Why does that's when you know people are just they're psychotic, when fights break out and just everybody's naked. When clothes come off, that's when you know shit's not right.
Outside. They're not fighting inside naked. They're like, let's take our clothes off and have Fight Club. What do you say? Like, sure. Out front yard, cool? Yeah, no, why not? What the hell? Like, what is going on? Why would you do that?
I only got one shirt. I don't want to get it bloody. That's cool. Take it off.
Take it off.
Take your pants off.
Come on, man. Come on, buddy.
Get your dick out. Come on. And what are you, faggot?
And who would this nut-punching lunatic, who the fuck would take their dick out around him? Good Lord.
So much for not fighting for the gays, pal.
No,
you're ass naked. You may as well fuck him.
This is like to prove how not gay he is. I'm so not gay, I'm going to teabag my friend right in the front yard. Not gay, though.
In front of everybody.
Everybody. I don't care. Put it in a police report. See if I care. So
he's so Southern.
I don't know why he's Southern. I don't know why. Because he acts like a crazy.
It's such a bullshit thing to do.
It is. It's nuts.
It makes no sense.
This is the point in time where there are pictures of him flooding the internet.
Naked?
Flooding. It'd be better for him if he was naked. This is like they're trying to use him to recruit people. He's like a recruiting tool.
He's their poster boy with that nose.
Yeah, well, because he's famous.
Right.
None of these idiots are famous. They're just a bunch of loser fucking,
He took a
Nazis.
stand. He broke out of a Russian prison and fled the country.
That's what I mean. So, and now he's in Norway seeking political asylum, and it's in all the papers, and they're like, yeah, this is our guy. So I can understand for their movement, it's a big deal. There's pictures of him with AK-47s, and every picture of him, the walls are lined with Nazi flags.
Of course.
He's got a Nazi shirt on, he's got a patch, and there's huge flags on the wall, and there's one particular picture of him that is probably the most frightening thing I've ever seen in my life. He's sitting on a couch with a big Nazi flag behind him. He's got some Nazi, accoutrement shirt on. He is holding in one hand. He's got a bald, big, round egghead, bright white, and he's holding in one hand a hatchet, and in the other hand a handgun up in the air.
Oh my God!
And he's got the most insane smile on his face. Like he just got a blowjob. That's a smile. Like, this is great.
Those are the two dumbest weapons to pair together. You can only use one at a time.
You shoot, and then you come in and hack him up real good when you're. I don't know what he's thinking, but
it's so stupid.
He's like, I am the scariest man alive. Like, that's what he's basically trying to portray.
I'll fight you from afar or close.
Or close. Right. I don't get close. I'll get you. Now this is spiking membership into this group, the Slavic Union. They're buying this shit. They're like, I want to be sitting on a couch with a hatchet and a handgun. This is great. And it looked like a goddamn trailer in there, too. Yeah. I want to sit in a double wide with wood panel walls and a Nazi flag. Very sad goals for these people. So that's what he's doing there.
And that's what's on the walls is wood paneling?
I can't tell, but I assume it's wood paneling.
It's got to be wood paneling.
You can't tell because it's covered in Nazi flags. Literally, the wallpaper is Nazi flags.
Terrible.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud. multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Now, September 21st, 2010, Datsik with two other men, these two men that he's been hanging out with, they are from, quote, an ex-Soviet Baltic state, part of the old Eastern Bloc that no longer exists. All are claiming to be Nazis. They show up at the International Police Immigration Service in Oslo, Norway. Okay, they show up. They're wearing Nazi flag shirt and all sorts of Nazi garb. He shows up, says he is seeking political asylum, and hands them a loaded gun. Puts a loaded gun down, with, fully loaded, and says, I'm seeking political asylum. We're Nazis. They're from an ex-Russian Baltic state. What's up, motherfuckers? Can we stay here or what? And they're meaning this like they're trying to go through actual normal channels to do this. Walk in.
Give us the paperwork.
Give us where do we sign up? That's it. It's fine. No, that's why I want one of those grocery card things where I get 20 cents off. That's what I want. Where do I sign up?
Where's the VIP card?
Do I get that discount on this visit, or is it next time? That's what he's doing. I get just citizenship now.
Does it start now?
So the Slavic Union leader, Dmitry Doyamushkin, said that the video of Datsik, because there's surveillance video of him walking in with the gun, they said it's real. It's real. He really did that. He really turned himself in. And Dmitry here said, quote, I wished him all the best and told him to not act like too much of a nutcase. That's what he told him.
What?
He's like, I wished him all the best. I said, try not to act like too much of a nutcase.
Welcome to the country. Don't be crazy.
No, this is the leader of the Slavic Union group.
Okay.
His little Nazi sect.
Gotcha.
This is their leader.
Don't fuck us up.
Yeah, don't act like too much of a little bit, because that helps recruiting, but not too much where you go over the edge. Now, information chief over there in Norway, Roar Hassan, said, quote, I can confirm that the gun he handed over had bullets. We decided to arrest him. Good for that. So he's arrested. He was processed by the Groenland police, but due to the fact that the case involved not only loaded weapons, but the harboring of a dangerous-ass fugitive and other people involved, the case is turned over to the Oslo Organized Crime Unit.
Okay.
So now he's being investigated by the Oslo Organized Crime Unit. Also, too, they explain why that is. Section leader Einar Aas, A-A-S, Jesus Christ, your name is ass, but worse, said, quote, we have weapon seizures and other seizures that make this issue a high priority. We have arrested 3 persons and will make a remand for prison. So they've arrested all 3 of these Nazis from the tattoo shop.
And they want to lock them up.
They want to lock them up. They can naked box in prison, whatever. So police then search the tattoo shop, because that's their clubhouse. They find tons of Nazi shit. It's just like a Nazi memorabilia. It's like a Nazi garage sale in there, including this full-size doll Nazi soldier mannequin dressed in a full-size uniform.
Why do you want that?
I don't know.
It's like the Auschwitz Museum.
They were really into this shit, man. I'm telling you guys. They also found 5 illegal handguns and a stolen passport, all of which are hardcore no-nos in Norway. And if they're
anywhere,
exactly. Yeah. And the passport thing, they're pretty touchy with that shit over there. So, on October 29th, 2010, a Norwegian police psychiatrist spoke to Datsik and submitted a report concluding that he does not have any serious mental disease. I beg to differ, but fine. Datsik's lawyers use this to try to say that the Russians made up all the shit about him being crazy to keep him locked away, and that they should give him asylum because the Russians are full of shit and you can't give him back to Russia because the Russians want to extradite him.
Yeah.
Obviously, for tons of shit. He's got all these problems.
For tearing apart a prison fence and escaping.
He's still on the hook for all these armed robberies. He was just in a mental institution.
Right.
He couldn't serve prison. So Datsik also at this point claims that he was tortured by Russian authorities, and he's talking about this again in the asylum thing. They're saying
probably deserved it.
They said I was crazy when I wasn't, and he said they tortured him. They said they handcuffed him naked in a cage for more than 8 months. Claims they used electrodes on his genitals. So they were getting hardcore.
So they're basically doing to him everything he does in his personal life.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I like it when a girl does that. You know what I mean?
I'd just rather do that myself, guys.
Guys, I have a couple of buddies. We get together, and we have a couple of vodkas, and we get out in the front lawn, we get naked, and then we do this shit. You know what I mean? Come on. So, Fridtjof Fade. Yes, Fridtjof Fayed. That's his name.
You sound
Fuck him.
Well,
I sound like I said something and you played it backwards. That's what I sound like. Like I'm Judas Priest telling you to worship the devil.
Big Daddy when the guy with the fucked up teeth in Hollywood, what's his name? Yeah, when Buscemi falls off the fucking cart that he's racing, and then he like sits up and goes, thief. That's exactly what you just did.
That's the name of an attorney.
That's so great.
In Norway.
That's so great.
This is Datsik's silver-haired, middle-aged white man that they give him over there.
And he's got that shit on a business card.
He does, and people went, oh, Fridtjof, yeah, nice to meet you. I'm not going to call him. Fuck him. I don't care how good of an attorney he is. I can't pronounce his name. Yeah. When he gets on the phone, I go, Frid, click, and I hang up.
Fuck that name.
Shit. He says about this whole thing, quote, among other things, he was tortured using electrodes on his genitals. He was also hoisted by a rope handcuff from the ceiling for extended periods of time. He sat in a closed psychiatric hospital because they, quote, found a serious mental disorder. It's the same kind of reasoning as the Soviet Union used against dissidents who strongly disagreed with the ruling authorities to make them harmless.
Sounds like Russia.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying basically it's a big conspiracy to discredit him, basically.
Yeah, but that's fucking Russia.
That's Russia, and your guy is crazy. Sometimes both is right. Sometimes both is right. Like sometimes I'm like, he killed him, and the police planted evidence. Both.
Whatever.
That's what happened here. Crazy, and they're full of shit. Everybody's
just be thankful
crazy.
You didn't get a 22 behind the ear. That's the death penalty.
Yeah.
That's Russia. That's what you expect there.
That's fucking Russia.
They killed the Red Ripper. They
kill everybody.
But when he got the death penalty, that's what they did. They pulled him out of his cell after his conviction. There's no fucking waiting around for appeals. They pulled him out of his cell and shot him in the fucking right behind the ear, in the back of the head with a goddamn 22. That's how you die there.
Datsik is in a Norwegian prison now. He twice attempts suicide while in custody, which is odd for this guy. He continues to make crazy videos and he commits suicide because they put him in isolation, and then they take him out of isolation, and within 2 days he's acting like a crazy person hurling racial slurs at everybody, so they put him back in isolation. Like, you're a fucking animal. You can't be with other people, you asshole. Makes a video while in Norway. It's amazing. He's in the Norway thing. It looks like he's in like a weird, like an industrial apartment almost. And I think this is when they were wondering whether they were going to keep him for asylum, and they didn't know what to do with him, so they're just kind of housing him, basically.
Yeah.
It's a video, and it says in the beginning, while in Norway, this is in English writing, while in Norway, he's missed one thing, his licorice pipes. Okay? And it's him, and he's going, like making these crazy faces, like it's the craziest you'll ever see somebody. And then he gets this package, and it says Skipper's Pipes on it, or what they're called. Skipper's Pipes, and they're like little pipes, like, like a Sherlock Holmes pipe, like a miniature one made of licorice. This is his
eats them?
favorite thing in the world. He puts it all over his face, and he's like, my favorite thing, he puts it over his mouth like a mustache.
What?
Then he eats it like a cannibal would eat a human liver, just like it's it's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like the equivalent of Americans and candy cigarettes.
That's what it
so
is.
Weird.
He's like,
what the fuck?
Like, he's so interested in it. It's
so that
weird.
Important to him?
Super important. He loves his black licorice. He's
so weird.
Super weirdo.
That proves that he's a weirdo. Black licorice is disgusting.
Especially in a pipe form. So he it just looks like it's got a resin in it.
Stuff is so gross.
So while he's in Norway jail here, it's October 2010. The beef with Alex Emelianenko starts up again. Okay, Alex said that about Datsik, that he's, quote, not a sportsman and he shouldn't be allowed to ever fight. And they ask him if Datsik doesn't feel any pain. This is what a journalist asked a guy. Okay. Yeah. He said, is it true that he doesn't feel any pain and that he has retard strength? That is an official medical term in Russia, retard strength. I said,
Is it also true he does not fight for faggots?
Does he not fight for faggots? Does he hate the Jews and have the strength of the handicapped? Holy shit. They asked us like a serious question, like, does he have retard strength?
I'd love to see like fucking Shepard Smith.
Yeah.
Fox ask that question.
Would you credit that to retard strength, possibly? Like this. So far we're in deep. We've had faggot, retard, kike. It's been bad today, and it's not our fucking fault. We're dealing with this lunatic.
These people say it.
We don't have this guy's back.
God, Jesus, how could they do
God,
that?
what the worst.
He doesn't know. How does he not know that that's not like... That's an insult. It's not okay to just say.
This is what Russia's like. Russia is like 4th grade, but a whole country. That's what Russia is. It's the worst place ever. See, if you gave 12-year-olds a country and they're like, run wild, run free, torture people, retard strength, hate the Jews, do whatever you got.
The only thing he hasn't done is insult black people. I can't wait. It's coming. It's got to.
Come on now. Jesus Christ, what do you take me for?
Fuck, it's so bad. How does he do it?
So to that question of, does he not feel pain and does he have a retard strength? Wow. Alex says about it, quote, no, this isn't true. This isn't true. What do you mean, retard strength?
Why did he answer it? Why didn't he look him in the face and go, are you fucking serious,
man? Because that's a normal question in Russia. That's what I mean. It's like 6th grade. Open up the fences. There you go. So, no, this isn't true.
My God.
I asked, then he said, I asked his former training partners about this. Does he have retards?
We checked. We gave him weights to lift.
Yeah.
There are 50 pounds and then there are retard strength.
Yeah, they're just extra. We don't know how much. We can't
What are you talking about?
Yeah. He said, I asked all his former training partners about this and they all said it's a lie.
What are you talking about?
Now he's challenging him here too. This is wonderful. Unreal, man. Unbelievable. So, wow.
How do you know when you have restart strength?
Apparently, that's a measurable. That's a unit of measurement in Russia.
Where is the fucking scale?
That's like when you hit the big hammer and you hit it and it goes up and hits the bell. It's like, Superman, He-Man, retard, I think is how those go.
Or that boxing bag that's in every bar that every shitbag fucking punches.
Tard strength, if you really will.
He hit it and it screamed tard strength and he put his hands up and everybody cheered.
Unreal. Wow. So,
God, it's so good.
He says, no, it's not true.
No, God,
no.
We checked.
He said, I asked. He says, I asked his former training partners about this, and they all said it's a lie. I told them if he wishes to fight in the streets, as he so often does, then he should go and wait for me, and I will show everyone how his theory of his, quote, powers is nothing but nonsense. Okay? So, you don't think Datsik doesn't have an answer for this, do you?
He'll fight a bear. He'll got retard strength.
I think that's the determining factor. Yeah. Will he fight a bear? That's a retard strength. At least he's got the brain of something.
I can't believe that.
Now,
unbelievable.
You don't think he doesn't have a response for this, right?
Oh, I can't wait to hear the response.
Come back for this. He's asked about this.
Oh, he's going to dispute. I absolutely do.
Well, Alex actually is in trouble because he is accused of raping a housekeeper at this point and is kind of having some legal troubles of his own. So that's where some of these references come in. He's not in jail or anything yet, but there's a possibility. Now, before you get into this quote, this in their own words, you need to know that the word rooster in Russian in this particular context means prison bitch. Basically, this means a guy that gets fucked in prison. Is basically that's what the word rooster means here. It's sad that you have to know that to understand a quote. But it is what it is.
Here we go.
So here you go. In their own words, on Alex, quote, roosters like Emelianenko.
Right up front, the first word.
Must have something mixed up. You wanted to show me what pain means? So, you rooster, tell me your address and we will meet. He's in prison, by the way. You can tell me your address. I see you as a Jewish guy's hoe who licks Finkelstein's dick. What the fuck? And your tattoos, I see you have removed them. They were fake ones, huh? So your future is being a sex slave in any prison. If you are such a Superman, so cool and a super fighter, and want to teach me something, just leave your address. You don't have to catch me. I will find you myself. Holy shit.
He's hilarious.
Unintentionally, completely.
So fucking just naturally funny.
Finkelstein's dick. What? I don't know who Finkelstein is, but apparently Alex likes
Jewish
him.
hoe.
Wow. So anyway, he's in Norway at this point still. After he says this, he also says that he really loves Norway and he wants to move to Norway, get asylum, and fight under Norway's flag. He also says, though, that he wants to get as long a prison sentence as they can give him in Norway because he'll be healthier in prison. And if he's in prison there, he's basically like, hey, I'm not going to fight you guys put me in prison. Just put me in prison and not in Russia, is what it is. So he says he needs to be here and he needs to be in prison for as long as you can because he is, quote, too raw for humanity. Now he's turned into a 90s rapper. Yeah. He's too raw for humanity.
That's like a title of a rap album.
I think it's a title of an Insane Clown Posse album, actually. That's what this guy is. He's a total juggalo. This fucking guy.
He's such a juggalo.
He's a fucking juggalo.
With his axes and shit.
Oh, my God. So he equates a Norwegian prison to a luxury hotel, because compared to a Russian mental facility, it probably is. Now, officials are worried, obviously, that Datsik may be basically spreading the Slavic Union to their country. Yeah. And he also, too, is... He says they're very worried because they're here with the stated intention to kill Muslims and other non-whites.
My God.
That's the group's deal. So they're like a little sketchy on having these people in their country, obviously. Datsik is said to be, Jesus, this was the thing when I got to this. I look through all this stuff and I look for information. I'm excited when I find it. Every once in a while I find something that's just another door to another thing where I actually go, oh, shit, no. For fuck's sake, I can't leave it out. I got to talk something about it. So
this is going to take me hours of research.
Fucking it is, too. I have to figure out who these people are, who they're It's insane. It turns into a geopolitical study session so I can do a 20-second recap of who somebody is. Insanity. It's like patreon.com/crime and sports. So... Datsik is said to be connected to Norwegian terrorist Anders Breivik. Okay, this is a big famous guy.
Is that the guy that shot up all the people at the school?
I don't think so. Anders is everybody's name over there. It's a large operation, basically. This terrorist group. It's said to be meeting. Basically, they're saying that Datsik has been meeting with Breivik to plan and discuss attempting to assassinate the Chechnyan separatist leader Ahmed Zakajev.
Oh, boy.
What the fuck, okay? We went from I want to beat this other MMA guy up and I'll say faggot to I'm going to assassinate a Chechnyan separatist leader, which is way deeper than I wanted to go in a Russian MMA fighter.
Is
that
him.
The guy?
That is him.
Okay, that's the same guy that we're talking about now.
Shot up a bunch of kids at a fucking school. He's a piece of shit.
This is that was a huge
thing. And he met up with him.
They were buddies, not met up with him. They were meeting to discuss attempting to assassinate the Chechnyan separatist leader. That's what they were doing. This was his buddy, Anders Breivik, the murderer of all these children.
My God.
Was his buddy. He was a Norwegian terrorist,
apparently. Who his company is.
This is before that, obviously. This is also such a big deal that this whole group has been being investigated in Oslo by the CIA for 10 years. That's how big of a deal is the CIA is up their ass.
Oh, my God.
They don't trust the Norwegians. Unbelievable. Now, December 22nd, 2010, while he's still being held, a pretty good and scary, honestly, sized demonstration is held by Datsik's supporters in Oslo. They have a big rally for him.
My God.
To free him. They're coming out of the woodwork now, these psychopaths. He ends up getting sentenced for the gun charge to 8 months in jail.
Okay.
February 16th, 2011, Norway decides, okay, we're going to extradite Datsik to Russia to face charges because we don't want him in here and people protesting around the building and have to deal with these white supremacist lunatics, okay? So, March 18th, 2011, he's deported from Norway back to Russia. August 19th, 2011, he's charged in Russia with more robberies, both from after he escaped from the institution and also his pre-incarceration robberies, including several church burnings.
Good
God. He was burning churches to the ground, including he's dead until the head of the press service for the Federal Penitentiary Management System comes out and says that he's fine and he's in good health.
My
he's
God.
Not dead. Not dead. They thought he was dead. He can't kill this fucking guy.
This is second fucking rumor that he's dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's such a crazy guy.
I've never had a rumor that I was dead.
No, not at all. Never.
I want one. That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah, he's like an 80s wrestler. They're just like, your junkyard dog died? Really? No, I don't think so. We used to pass that around the schoolyard, remember?
He's like Betty White every other week.
Every other week. If you say she died, they go, yeah, well,
Makes
clearly,
sense.
obviously, yeah. Now, December 2012, finally he's sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Whew.
5 years. He's off the streets now. Hopefully nothing with chain link fences.
Right.
Now, September 2015, Datsik from jail writes a letter to Moscow City Court asking them not to release fellow MMA fighter, guess who? Alex Emelianenko. He is in jail for that rape now. He got convicted for 4.5 years.
And he's telling him, keep him in.
He's telling him not to release him. He's serving a 4.5-year sentence, like I said. He says in the letter to court, which I have somehow here, in their own words, quote, I have known Alex since 2003.
He's a rooster.
He's a rooster, God damn it. And a Jew. And Finkelstein's dick gets licking. So, in their own words, again, I have known Alex since 2003. Initially, it was a sport and friendship, but I did not recognize his vile and rotten nature. This man is prone to betrayal and deception to profit from his friends and acquaintances.
Says one of the worst people on earth.
Yeah, he writes that to the court. It's like he told some girl, like, don't go out with him. He's a total dick. I thought he was a cool guy, and he fucking stole his shit from me.
He's a complete rooster.
Total rooster, man. So... he also goes on in this letter to accuse Alex's brother, Fedor, of beating women at sporting events. One thing I have to say about this crazy-ass letter, because they show a picture of the letter. Luckily, parts are translated because it's in Russian, but one thing I have to say, his penmanship is outstanding.
Of course it is.
It's amazing. It's
he has
beautiful.
To.
No, it looks like the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, he has to write in calligraphy. That's how he gets fucking
incredible. This penmanship.
That's how he gets people to join his bullshit cult.
Oh, but it's all lined up and the loops are perfect. Like for such a crazy slovenly fucking psychopath.
No lines on the paper, huh?
None.
It's a blank white piece of paper, and he just fucking calligraphies it up.
It looks like the Declaration of Independence.
Unbelievable.
Like it's amazing. You look it up. I don't know if you'll even find it. I got really deep in a rabbit hole to find this shit, so we'll put it on our social media if we can remember here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right. It might be on social media. So anyway, it's amazing. Say what you will, but penmanship, top notch. Okay. So Alex says in response, this is the most perfect quote ever. I'm agreeing with a rapist, but it's better than a Nazi psychopath, right. I guess, at this point. I don't even know. We're really splitting hairs now. He says, quote, this man isn't a normal person. People like him shouldn't be around normal people. He should be kept separate from society.
He may be talking about both of them.
In something like, I don't know, a prison, which is great. Yeah, we should both be separate from society. Now, March 11, 2016, 5 years later, Datsik is set for release from prison at the end of March or early April of 2016. He says he wants to go back to MMA fighting.
What the fuck?
He wants to fight more. Fight in a ring. His mother, Svetlana, of course, like we said, obviously, she's got a quote. She said, he's just going to fight. They have a gym that he trains. I do not want to advertise his opponent in advance.
She's all for it. She's all on his side.
He's good now.
He's a fucking complete lunatic, Ma.
That's fine.
Jesus Christ.
He's good now. So... now, on this release he gets released from prison in March of 2016. He claims he wants to be a, quote, public defender now. This multiple definitions of this term, okay, for him. He proclaims he will also take on local authorities that imprisoned him and to fight injustice. End quote.
What is he? He wants to be Batman? What is he doing?
Yeah. Scummy Award frontrunner for the Mama Gilritho Award, Mom Svetlana, told reporters about his plans. This is like a week later now. She says, quote, he plans to become a human rights activist. You can't become a human rights activist. You want to kill all the Jews. I'm sorry. That doesn't work. To do this, he must finish law school.
I guess he did say human, not civil.
That's true.
You got to start law school.
Finish law school.
He has to start.
His penmanship is great. He's got a head start there. Yeah. So he's got to finish law school. Viacheslav is engaged in the protection of the rights of prisoners, and he wishes to become a paralegal.
Oh, boy.
Paralegal. Okay.
If he can do it, anybody can do it.
Let's put him in a cubicle. I'm sure he'll be fine. Put him on the side, get him working on
9 to 5.
Working on some bankruptcy, something simple to get in his feet wet. Unbelievable. So we have an in their own words, and it's a long one, on his public defender plans, as he puts it.
Oh, boy.
In their own words, quote, "For all my time in prison, I was constantly faced with the lawlessness of the local administration and management of the IR31 Kazarenek prison. This unwarranted conclusion was in the form of my solitary confinement and restriction, and in some cases obstruction in communicating with relatives and my lawyer. I would also say that I was a witness to the torture of some prisoners. It is for these reasons that I have applied to the prosecutor's office."
That's a far cry from the guy that just called somebody a Jew.
Pissed off, and now he hates Mexicans too. It's crazy. Hates Mexicans on top of everything.
With tequila.
Hates them.
Yeah.
Hates it. So, after his release, the craziest shit hasn't happened yet, by the way. After his release, Datsik begins harassing people under the public defender title. He finds a friend who's some crazy musician, nutcase guy named Stanislav Beretsky.
Another Stan.
Who's a crazy, media whore guy, basically. They go around doing, quote, raids on brothels and casinos and also just harassing random people on the street.
What the fuck?
It's a morality police kind of thing. Basically, Datsik and his lunatic crew go into casinos and strong arm fucking Russian mob-run casinos that aren't businesses.
He's breaking them up.
He's going in, busting them up. They tear up the place, harass the employees and customers. They also steal a bunch of shit.
Of course.
Obviously. Most are owned by the Russian mafia.
That's terrible.
Bad people get involved with.
It's a terrible mistake.
So they either ignore what he does or then they threaten violence and retaliation, obviously. They'll fucking come in and bust our place up.
Firebomb you.
So there's a Russian fluff piece on him.
What?
A fluff piece. Because over there, if you're a nutbag Nazi, that's half the population's yeah, good. They're nuts over there. In the Russian news, they say he's, quote, fighting for justice and that his work will never be done. But the reporter is with Datsik and crew as they raid a casino, saying one casino they broke up, another one a guard with a gun kept him out of it.
Wow.
And also as they raid brothels, okay? He's taking these girls, he's locking them in rooms, he's dragging them outside. He called it the duty of passing and conducting educational work. That's what he called this fucking shit.
He's like the Russian Boondock Saints.
It's insane. This article says what they do is, quote, they appeals to conscience and at the same time finds the right information. They're telling this about him in his fluff piece. Unbelievable. Because then what they'll do is then they'll call the cops. They'll raid a place and then call the cops in to come arrest everybody.
There, right.
Basically, it's nuts.
Right.
He talks about how the girls should be punished and his role in the punishment. He would like to be in the police, but the police won't take him. This is on, and in their own words, about prostitutes and his role in the whole thing, okay? In their own words, quote, "We should not be fined on 2,000 rubles when the girls get more, but at least 15 days to send the girls to the sweep yards. Then there will be no more problems with migrant workers and janitors. I was the robber chief of St. Petersburg. You want me not to be? And who is going to fight for the people?"
He thinks he's Robin Hood. He thinks he's doing a service.
Yeah,
he
what
really
people
is
are you fighting
convinced.
for? Listen to what he does here. Then takes a break for a minute. May 5th, 2016, is arrested for disrupting the delivery of construction materials used to build the M11 highway that will link Moscow to St. Petersburg.
Why is he stopping that?
Because it's a Turkish construction company named AK, and they're driving trucks over there. He blocked a country road with a large log truck strategically. Datsik and his men decide that the Turkish company was illegally cultivating Russian sand and building materials. It's for a Russian highway.
Right.
Russians have really they started hating the Turks basically during the whole Syria thing.
Yeah.
While they were doing the Syria thing, the Turks shot down a warplane of the Russians, and they've hated them since then. It's been a big deal. This is recently. Now Datsik on May 5th, same thing. He would approach the trucks after they'd stop. He'd approach the trucks, yank the drivers out of the trucks, take their keys from them, kick them tell the drivers to go run into the thick forest in the middle of nowhere on a country road, kick them out of there to be fucking eaten by wolverines, I'm sure. Also yell, threaten them and threaten to beat them and yell anti-Turkish shit at them, even if they weren't Turkish. And
I just snorted because I'm giggling because I have no idea what an anti-Turkish anything is.
He would then throw all the truck keys in the woods, so it would just create this giant traffic jam that nobody could remove here. Now, for this, Datsik and his men were arrested and taken to the police department and then released later in the evening. That seems like something they'd hold you for, especially if you just got out of prison a month ago. Upon his release, he was steadfast in what he believed in. He said, in their own words, quote, "We will continue to fight against Turkish mercenaries. I do not care for someone who works just to feed their families."
What? That's everybody. That's everybody on Earth.
No, remember what he said about fighting. If you they fight for money, they're losers.
They're losers.
You got to fight for fun, or you got to have a cause.
Do it all for nothing.
Now, the brothels, like I said, he's informing them of police of their activities. He's doing raids. The raids, they have a raid on film that is the most disturbing shit I ever saw. There's people there, guys are all wearing like hoods with sunglasses on, except for Datsik and his friend who are just like, hey, we're right here.
The leaders of the shit.
They don't give a shit. They rough up these prostitutes. There's these Nigerian prostitutes. Mm-hmm. The video comes in the room, and he's got his knee in her back on the ground. She's like flailing like an insect, and he's got his 250-pound knee on his back. She gets up. They start like scuffling a little. They move the camera. You hear him hitting her. Then they put the camera back on. She's crying. He's whipping her around. Basically what they would do is, they rough up the prostitutes. They do this whole thing. He's yelling at her saying that they're infecting the Russian people with AIDS and all this shit. Datsik and the crew would march protesters and pimps naked through the streets. This is what they do. They would take them from these brothels, rip their clothes off, and march them through the streets as some sort of humiliation thing. He shows their faces to the cameras and everything, tries to do it, says, these are the sluts that are infecting the country with HIV. It's fucking crazy, man. Now the whole country will see their faces, and he'll march them to the police station. It's like, you broke in with guns and beat women, you fucking lunatic. Who cares if they were sucking dick? We don't care. That's like a Q problem. You're an A problem. Right. Like, what the fuck, man?
You know, who cares? Somebody that wants their dick sucked. Leave that person alone.
Jesus.
At least they're not sucking Finkelstick's dick.
Absolutely. Finkelstein's dick. So this 11 prostitutes were marched naked down the street. A witness said, quote, "Police burst into the building and a little while later left with naked and crying prostitutes."
How is that doing anything for anything?
Well, first of all, they're not police. They thought they were police. And naked and crying, that's the worst kind of prostitute. You don't want a naked crying prostitute. That's a terrible kind of prostitute. That's not good for her. It's not good for whoever she's with. Bad for business. Now, there's a reporter at this point.
Worst kind of
worst kind. Reporter at this point says, quote, "It is still not clear whether Datsik is a psychopath. He's been admitted to 2 psychiatric hospitals and then was sent to jail. Psychos are not usually admitted to prisons in Russia." That's what they're like, so he's got to be sane. Oh, man.
That's the worst kind of prostitute.
Unreal.
Naked and crying.
Naked, you don't want that. It's a bad kind of process. Not good for anybody. You know what I mean?
Sorry. That's so fun.
So May 19th, Datsik and his group burst into the Petrograd Hotel. Mm-hmm. They kick in the door of a room and find a sleeping woman. Yeah. Datsik thinks it's a sex worker, pulls her from the room and into the hallway by her hair.
Oh, God.
Beating her and forcing her to strip her clothes off so he can march her through the streets.
Right.
She escapes from his clutches. Yeah. Remember, he's only 6'9" in MMA here. So escapes from his clutches and manages to call police. Hotel manager somehow detains Datsik physically. Wow. I don't know how the hell he did that.
It was the old ref.
Yeah, exactly. It's that big ref. He's like, son of a bitch, I'll Zach Morris out of my way. So he's charged with illegal penetration into a dwelling, which sounds worse than trespassing. It's got penetration in it.
Sounds like rape.
It's just trespassing.
It's dwelling rape.
Yeah, and extortion and assault. The woman is injured by Datsik because she's a small woman. Also claims he stole 52,000 rubles from her.
Which is $7.
7,000 rubles is $225. So do whatever fucking math you want out there. And her cell phone, because he's always got to steal a cell phone. Now he is to remain in jail until July 18th. It's only a 2-month thing.
Wow.
Raids have brought about calls for fair treatment by sex workers. That's the only decent thing here. Is it's the people are actually like having petitions to protect these people from vigilantes and other crazy fucks in there. Insanity. So September 27th, 2016, he is still in jail. Datsik at that point, 2016. He goes on a hunger strike. Says it's a protest he's undertaking due to the, quote, lack of understanding by police that he was helping society. Wow.
Nazi Uncle Fester refuses to eat their shit food. All right.
Exactly. Investigator Catherine Lurie petitioned St. Petersburg court to extend his stay until at least November, and it's granted. And he's, at this point, who knows? He's in and out of Russian jails, acting crazy. If you're in Russia, look out.
Watch out. And if you're a naked and crying prostitute, you better run.
Run now.
Just run.
Run.
The worst.
The worst kind of prostitute. Not helpful for anybody at all.
Oh, my God.
That's Mr. Datsik, man. That is Viacheslav Datsik.
So he could be out of prison right now. You may or may not see him.
You may or may not see him. Let's hope nobody out there sees him. For your own sakes, everybody avoid this asshole.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. I got in deep with some Russian. That was crazy.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
What a story. It's blue-collar people that are building cars. That's fucking awesome. John Boy and Des Wyhe for getting us to Gloucester Boy. Gloucester Boy reviewed us, and John Boy and Des Wyhe were the two that talked him into listening. So thanks, guys. Assy Horn 228, a Seahorn. I don't know how to fucking. You guys just put your names on the iTunes reviews and save me from saying Strickland 575, TikTok Man 19, Jellies 29456.
You guys know who you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Steve from Philly. By the way, that's how you iTunes, brother. Thanks for the review and thanks for throwing your name in there. Matthew 19849110. That's what I'm talking about. That is so difficult.
Thank you,
but
guys.
thank you. Ibarra E94, Selwyn Leonard in South Africa. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about South Africa, but we've got somebody listening. That's awesome. Jordan Lemons, Lou Brooks, Python Cricket put up a survey on Twitter.
Thanks, guys.
And we had a ton of people fucking vote on it. That's how fucking far we've gotten this.
Yeah, man.
It's
Thank
amazing.
You, Python Cricket, too. We like you guys. Support since the beginning.
Awesome.
PythonCricket.com for all your cricket bat needs, guys.
For all of them.
Yeah.
JD Bound, Lori Thornton, Pete Eilert or Ayelet. I don't know. Gavin Cook, Adam Yates is going to send us some J.R. Ryder memorabilia.
Solid.
So thank you, bro. And also, Adam Yates donated $50 to our Patreon page. That's fucking amazing.
A pledge of that.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
Adam.
Thank you, guys. And BG Bandita, too, for her donation this week.
And
you
Roy
guys
Tulloch
rock.
upped his to
so
a
much,
higher
man.
level. Sarah Rutt and Scott Ferguson in the UK has been listening for so long.
Thank you,
and
man.
Thank
Since
you,
the
man.
beginning. Thank you
Got
guys
us so many
much.
people. This has been amazing.
We really appreciate it so much. If you want to hit us up, Jimmy, your social media.
At Wisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Thank you guys for tweeting at me. Thanks for interacting. It's been fucking amazing.
And I am at Jimmy P is Funny or James Petrogello if you want to get adventurous and figure out how to spell that. Do that, and we're going to keep coming back, Jimmy.
Man.
Let's do this. You excited for next week?
Fuck yeah. I'm excited for the next million.
Can't wait, guys. Join us next week live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.